Alright guys, so it's been a while since we've done differences between male and female Cane Corso video, but we're going to do an update video today. So just want to give you guys a little run through about what's going to happen. I'm going to be talking about you, and I'm going to be talking about you and the differences that you guys have, okay? Alright? Nobody's going to get feel personally attacked, right? Alright. Okay. Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. On today's video, we're going to be talking about the differences between my male and my female Cane Corso. So before I get this video started, I just wanted to really thank all of you guys for being on this journey with us and just supporting us throughout everything. I honestly never expected our channel to grow to the amount that it has when I started this YouTube channel. So I'm very, very thankful for all of you guys, and I really appreciate all of your support. I really honestly do love putting out content for you guys and just sharing a little bit of my life with you. That being said, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We do want to reach 100,000 subscribers. Hopefully by the end of the year, fingers crossed. It's a goal, and I would love to be able to reach that goal. I know it's a little bit ambitious. It's important to set goals for yourself. So I'd really appreciate if you guys do subscribe to our channel. Also, don't forget to check out our merch. If you scroll down on this video, you'll see our store and all the products we have available, such as this very, very cute phone case right here. Also, don't forget to check out the courses over at Fenrir. The links for those courses are in the description box below. So don't forget to check that out. They are an amazing online resource that have helped me with my dogs and improving my relationship with them. So totally recommend those courses. But without any further ado, let's get this video started. If you guys have been following along for some time, when I first got Peach, I made a video just describing a little bit of the differences that I've noticed between her and between Dante, being that she is a female Cane Corso and that he's a male Cane Corso. She was pretty young at the time, so when I made that video, I did say that I would make an update video after she was a little bit older, just to see if any of the things that I've noticed held up. So, oh boy. If anything, her personality just amplified by tenfold. So yeah, just to give you guys a little bit of context, Dante is my male Cane Corso. He is 3 years old and he is taking the best nap of his life right now. And Peach is my female Cane Corso, who is also taking the best nap. And she turned 1 in December. So she's much older than when I made this video initially. So I broke this video down to 3 main categories. So we're going to be talking about their personality, their behavior, and how training was for each of them individually. I think there is a big difference between personality and behavior, and I think that a lot of things that are because of their personality affect their behavior and how training went. So, or is going rather, because it's an ongoing thing. Let's start off with our first category, which is going to be their personality. Right off the bat, since Dante was a puppy, he was very, I would almost say, distant with strangers. And even when my husband and I went to pick him up at the airport, he wasn't like those movie puppies that are wagging their tail and all happy like the first time they see their owner. Of course, he had just come off of a plane ride, and the next day he had explosive diarrhea, so maybe he wasn't feeling his best. But aside from that, even with people that he didn't know or he was just meeting, ever since he was a puppy, he was aloof and distant, and it would take him some time to warm up to people. But when it came to family or people that he knew very well, he is extremely affectionate. It's almost like night and day. That is something that surprised me and almost made the relationship that I had with him even more special, because I felt like he would never trust anybody like he trusts me. He would never be as loyal or love anybody else on the planet as he would me, as opposed to a dog that is maybe more friendly with everybody. So I thought that that was just a very interesting trait that he had, and I thought it was really neat. So it just made my relationship with him very, very special. So now regarding his personality, I would say that Dante is a guardian. He is very protective, he is very vigilant, and he is always very aware of his surroundings. And he takes his job as a guard dog very, very seriously. So that is Dante, and he has been like that since he was very little. Although Dante is not the type of dog that is going to immediately warm up with a guest that comes over our house or just cuddle with them on the first time that they meet, he is very playful and has a very puppy-like energy. So if I am to just like tease him, or if I start to like run away, he likes to play, he likes to chase, he likes all of that stuff. He's always up for it. And because he's so affectionate, any kind of attention that we give him, it's like the best thing on the planet for him. Dante is also a very mischievous dog. And when he was a puppy, even more so. Now he's a little bit more mellowed out and he matured to some extent, right? But when as a puppy, I mean, he did so many things that he was not supposed to do. Like if there was something that he couldn't do, he wanted to do it. He like broke into our fridge, he defluffed our entire couch. He just always seemed to get himself into trouble. But of course through training and just him growing up, he came out of that phase. But I would definitely say that in comparison to Peach, he was way more mischievous. And Dante is also a very stubborn dog. That is something that affected how his training was. It did make it harder, but it didn't necessarily mean that he was a bad dog or anything like that. It just meant that I had to do a better job at figuring him out. Yeah, I would say that that is a summary of Dante's personality. So now let's jump into Peach's personality. Now, Peach is an extremely affectionate dog. And when I tell you she's extremely affectionate, she is affectionate with anybody, with anything, under any circumstance. It's safe to say that she's just belly up for anybody, even if she met you for the first time, which I think is, I don't know, I just find it so fascinating because they're the same dog breed, but their personalities are very different. Now, Peach will bark if she hears a weird noise. If we're walking on a quiet road and somebody just pops out of nowhere, she'll give a little growl. Normal stuff. In comparison to Dante, she is much more submissive with my husband and I than he is. I also noticed that Peach is very intelligent. We'll get more into that as we talk about behavior and their training and all of that stuff. But I noticed that she is very intelligent and she picks up on things very quickly. I would say that Peach is also fearless. She has a fearless personality. It's almost like she doesn't really care, in the sense of, I feel like she doesn't measure danger. She doesn't discern things. And I don't know if it's because she kind of lets Dante do all of that for her and she's just like, all right, yeah, where are we going? You know, so it's kind of like she doesn't need to worry. She's like very easygoing. She doesn't care. And I would say, as part of her personality, she's very entitled as well. At times, I really feel like she feels like she knows everything and we're just all inconveniencing her. Those are the vibes that I get from Peach sometimes. So she's a very, very sassy girl. And I would also say that she is very, very confident. Now we're going to jump into behavior. So what I'm going to do is I'll describe the situation and I will describe how Dante and Peach behave and react to that same situation. So when it comes to having people over, we give people very specific instructions when it comes to Dante. We tell people, don't stare at him in the eyes, let him come up to you and sniff you, but completely ignore him. Pretend like he's not there. Although Dante is very wary of strangers, he is very well trained. So if we are allowing people in, he is accepting of that, even though he doesn't like it, even though it's not his cup of tea. Peach, on the other hand, now when people come over, it's kind of like we give them this whole speech about Dante, and then it's like we kind of like forget to tell them about Peach, because Peach does not care. She doesn't care who you are, where you came from. She'll just treat people like they're part of the family. If you stare at her for too long, she'll probably paw you, because she'll be like, you're staring at me for this long, why aren't you scratching me? Like, come on, put yourself to use. You come in here, scratch me, rub my belly, do something, play with me. So she's that kind of dog. Very accepting, very social of people. Overall, there's one thing that I noticed that is very different for the both of them regarding their behavior, and that is that for some reason Dante is very, very polite, and I feel like he knows his size, so he is very aware of that. It's like when he walks around, you know, like he's very careful not to bump into things. He's very careful not to sit on you too hard. If he comes up on the couch, it's almost, and he needs to like move, it's almost like he doesn't want to like disturb you. And if he wants to like cuddle with you, for example, if he wants to cuddle with me, and he's like trying to do that little like circle thing, you know, that dogs do when they try to get comfy, he is walking very lightly. I don't know how he does it, because he's so big, but he like does it so lightly so that he's not stepping on you by accident too hard. He is very, very, very polite and very cautious and very aware of his size. Now Peach, I don't know why she's like this. I don't. Peach, she doesn't care. Again, doesn't give a flying fadoodle. She will jump over you, she'll jump on top of you, she'll plop down really hard. I think that it's because she's fearless, and because she doesn't see danger, and because she's a little bit entitled and sassy, that affects her behavior when it comes to being gentle or polite, because I wouldn't say that she is naturally gentle. Now surprisingly, she's very gentle with babies. I almost feel like, I don't know if dogs sense or see that something is much smaller than them, so they're careful, and it's maybe just like an instinct that they have, but I was very surprised about that. Peach, for some reason, she treats my husband and I like we're part of the couch, or we are the couch. But with a baby that came over one time, she was very like soft and gentle and very careful. So I think there's still hope for her. Maybe it's because she's still young. It's not that she hasn't been taught manners or anything. Yeah, no, it's not that. Is it? No, just kidding. Let me just depict another scenario. So in the morning, I'm usually up and the dogs stay in bed for a little bit. So it's almost like a little parade when everybody walks, because it's like Dante wakes up, then Peach wakes up. Or it's usually Peach wakes up, then Dante wakes up, then my husband, everybody just like walks down. But anyway, not the point. I'm gonna explain to you guys how Dante greets me in the morning and how Peach greets me in the morning. So Dante will come, he will, if I'm like in the kitchen or if I'm sitting down or whatever, he'll come and he'll like have his ears back and like be like wagging his tail and going like this with his tail a lot, like almost like wailing his entire butt because of how much he's wagging his tail. Well, he'll have his ears back and he usually has his head down, and he just like gives you a little very, very soft nudge just to be like, hey, good morning, I'm here. And then, you know, I give him a little scratch, take him out, throw him to go to the bathroom, do whatever he needs, and that's how he greets me in the morning. So now Peach comes down this hallway like it's a runway or something. She comes also with her ears back, sometimes not. She comes, if I'm sitting down in the kitchen, she plops like, or sits really, really hard to make it known that she's awake and that she's up, and she'll start whining to get pet. Like completely different. She'll just be like, oh, and like paw you so that you can scratch her. And just a little side note too, Peach is very vocal. She'll whine, cry for anything, really, like just to like express herself. Sometimes she will demand bark if she sees, you know, that my husband and I already ate, and then it's like, okay, where's our food? You know, Dante will just kind of like sit there and like just stare at you, but she'll bark. And what we do in those situations, obviously, if she barks, we don't feed her right away because we don't want to reinforce that behavior. I actually have a video of her doing that, and I'm gonna insert it right here so you guys can see. Don't do me no barks. Oh, girl does. Oh, quickly done. Oh my goodness. Now we're gonna talk about how their training went. I wouldn't say that one dog was easier to train than the other because they are both very different, and we had to figure out what motivates them. And because they have such different personalities, it was different for each of them. So Dante responds very well to touch. You know, just touching him, rubbing him, telling him he's great. That is his biggest reward. And Peach is very play-driven and food-driven. So it took some time to figure that out for both of them. But I wouldn't necessarily say that one of them was harder than the other. Dante, I would say, has a much more dominant and stubborn personality. So some things that Peach caught on to very quickly took longer for Dante to learn just because of his personality. Because he is very instinctively protective, we had to figure out where to draw the line. Where is that behavior a behavior that needs to be corrected? And that was something that was difficult for us to learn or to figure out at first. There is definitely a learning curve, I would say, in that aspect. Let me say how things that I love about Dante when it comes to training. So Dante has amazing eye contact. He is 100% paying attention to me every single time we do anything that is related to training. So I would say that Dante is also very, very eager to please, which is funny because you would think that because he was stubborn, he wouldn't want to do things, right? But it was interesting because I feel like it would only be like that when he was learning something for the first time. Dante tries to be clever sometimes, and he will try to negotiate certain things when we are training. So for example, like if I tell him to sit, sometimes he'll go down. If I tell him to go down, sometimes he'll sit. If I tell him to go place, sometimes he'll pretend like he's not listening to me, and he goes and does place on a different place that I didn't ask him to do it. So he will try to subtly negotiate. While Peach, I feel like she's just more blatant about that. Like she's like, no, I don't want to do this. Peach is very intelligent, and I feel like she caught on to her commands very quickly in comparison to Dante. Especially once I figured out that she's very food driven, that she's very play driven, that became very easy. So she catches on to things very, very quickly. She does, however, have a hard time with her eye contact, and it's just that I feel that when we are out training, she needs to be constantly doing something, or else she kind of like wonders. Like she's like, man, what else can we do? I'm kind of bored, you know? I feel like she just gets bored much more quickly. I think that that's because she's very intelligent. So she does struggle with that. So that's something that we have to work on. Something that she struggles with, aside from the eye contact, would be affection from other people. So if, you know, she's doing great, she's healing with me, and like somebody baby talks her, it's the hardest thing for her to be able to hold a command, because she's just like, yes, pet me, baby talk me, tell me everything, tell me I'm great, tell me my ears are so cute and floppy. Now that we finished covering everything that we had to cover, personally, if I had to pick between a male and a female Corso, right now I would say it would be very difficult for me to do so, because I love both Dante and Peach for very different reasons, and I feel like they complete each other, and they complete what I as a dog owner want in a dog. If I was doing something specific, I would probably pick one dog or the other. So what I mean by that is, if I'm gonna go to TJ Maxx, or if I'm gonna go shopping, or if I'm gonna do something of that nature, I'd probably take Peach. Because Peach is so social, and because she enjoys affection and she enjoys that, and she doesn't really care about other people or strangers looking at her, that is something that she would find enjoyable. Now, if I am going on a walk early in the morning, or if I am going out at night, or if I want to use my scary dog privilege, Dante is my guy, 100%. I will take him. Who's afraid of this girl? Like, nobody's intimidated. Look at her. She's like, oh, with all her floppy ears, and she's like, hey guys, my name's Peach. I'm honestly very curious to hear from you guys if you own any female or male dogs, or if you've owned both, and if you've noticed any differences. I find it really, really interesting, and I don't know, just comment down below. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.